My name is Ian and welcome to Planted. In this video I'm going to show you how to prune a fig tree for summer pruning. Now this was planted with a great friend of mine who had skeptical optimism when it was put in, and here we are just a few years later and it's put on beautiful growth. It was designed to be planted in an espalier trained up against the brick wall because that generates a lot of heat from radiation, and it has absolutely worked. What you'll need for this job is clippers, Felco clippers. I talk about these a lot. Don't try this job without these clippers, and a drop cloth, which I have below me. And we're going to systematically prune this back to do three things, and they are, first of all, you can see that it's growing out too far into what is a seating area. So that's the first thing. The second thing is we've got fruit in here, and by removing this dense foliage, the sunlight can get in there, help ripen the fruit, and increase the chance of the fruit being edible later in August and into September. But we also want the sunlight to be able to penetrate this canopy and get to the back wall, and that's where the radiant heat comes in, because this has been planted and it's going to be further trained as an espalier. So there's the three things. It's encroaching too far, we want the fruit to ripen, and we want the heat to get to the back wall. Now that radiant heat is not just available in summertime when we have sunshine, but even in fall, winter, and in springtime, you'll be amazed how that is storing a little bit of heat in the daytime that is then given up at nighttime. And all of that helps, it makes a big difference. If you have a fig, make sure it's a good variety and make sure that it will fruit in your climate. There's way too many people that grow a fig with blind optimism, and it's the wrong variety for their zone. We're in coastal Connecticut. We get a cooler summer than inland Connecticut, inland New England, but we get warmer winters. So by giving it this sunny, warm spot, helps give it that environment that it wants to grow in. This is a variety called Sanguidulce. It's quite unusual. I got this trading figs with some other fig people around the States. So just going to a garden center, buying a fig that they have in stock is no guarantee it will fruit for you. You're much better off asking in garden clubs and asking around and finding somebody with a fig that is known to fruit, and then purchasing, borrowing, buying, negotiating to get a cutting that you can then root yourself. And what you're doing there is you've got known provenance. You know that that fig will grow, so it's worth putting in a few years of patience for it to grow. This was planted 3 years ago, so we're in 25, so 22 was when this was planted, and look at it, it's beautiful. So the first thing is, and I've said this before in many videos, when you prune, don't prune for perfection. It doesn't happen. This branch is going to come back. I'm going to cut this, and it'll end up being pruned way back here. But I'm just going to start with a series of small cuts, and I can start to see exactly what I want. But there's something very special with figs that you need to know about, and that is that they have this sap that's been cut but a few seconds, and you can start to see it on my finger. Now some people find this a little caustic. I rarely get a rash on my arms and my hands. Sometimes I do, but you see how quickly it comes. And the reason I did this is that rather than pruning from the top down, you want to prune from the bottom up. That's what you need to do. And that way, as it drips, your hands are higher than it, and it won't drip onto your arms. Do make sure you've got a trash can or a drop cloth. You'll be having lots of small bits of fig, all covered in the soft, sticky sap. And you want to pick it up, put it down, and not have to touch it again. So do put a drop cloth or have some sort of garbage can. Let's go in for a close look. You can see this is the sap that's falling. Some people have got a really strong allergic reaction to this, so do be careful. So my plan is to come in and do this bottom part and get it finished, so I don't have to go back in there again, and then I'll come up and start to do the higher part. So this little trick is a great way to save you possibly getting irritated skin. The more you prune, the more familiar you'll get with the practice of pruning. There's no substitute than getting some good sharp clippers and giving it a go. But I like to make 2 or 3 cuts and then hold the pieces I've cut off in my left hand and then make a few more cuts and then put them down. So rather than cutting one at a time, you might see me cut 2 or 3 branches at once and then discard them. This way, it's a very, very quick process. This doesn't take long at all. So those first cuts I did were very rudimentary, no specific placement. But now I'm going back and cutting the stump back to the next leaf. It just tidies up the way the plant looks. Because those stumps, if you leave them, they'll just die back. You don't want that. So the first cut was to clear it out. I can see what I'm doing. And this finer cut is going back to reduce the pruning so it's much more accurate. It always amazes me the volume of branch material that you take off when you prune. It's a colossal amount. The plants put out lots of energy to grow these stems and these leaves, and it's vital that you get in there and you remove them. Something important to note here is that here's the brick wall at the very back. Here's the brick wall. Don't think that you should prune your plant all the way back here for it to get heat from the wall. We're going to have a foot, maybe 18 inches of growth coming out from the wall, and that gives us more space for the branching and then more space for the fruits that will be initiated in time to come. So don't feel you have to push it right up tight. You don't. Let's just talk about pruning in general. I mentioned earlier about going out to prune and not shooting for perfection. Let's say that the pruning that this fig gets is 88% fantastic. That's better than doing nothing, and that's better than butchering it. But then later in the year, in October, early November, when it's dormant and we can see clearly, we can give it another fine pruning to make it even better. And that is it. That's a secret with pruning. One pruning won't fix it, multiple will. That's it. Fig tree is pruned. We have the desire for the growth to go higher up, which is good. I mean, clearly the higher up we go, the more foliage, the more branches, the more fruit. But all of this has been cut back. It's still weeping, and it'll do that for some time, but it will callus over and stop weeping. So if you do prune your fig, don't be overly concerned. It'll fix itself. What we've done is let sunlight into these figs, and these are the ones that we want to ripen in the coming weeks. If you don't do this, your fig will get very healthy. It'll have lots of leaves, lots of branching. It'll get big, and you'll be telling your friends that your fig is beautiful, but it just won't fruit. By pruning it hard like this, and we've removed a substantial amount of growth, what we've done is essentially, by reducing the crown, that's the above ground growth, remember that the root size we haven't touched. So that root system was able to support all the growth that we had. Now that we've reduced this growth, that root system is essentially much bigger. If we've got, say, 60% of the crown left, and our root system was at 100, we're now able to put more nutrient and more water from the roots into these branches to make these ripen. And with the sunlight penetrating into these branches, that sunlight will initiate fruit production for next year. A lot of reasons to do pruning in the summer on a fig. But here's a tip on pruning anything. If you get up on a Sunday morning and you see a plant that's looking a bit wayward and rough, don't just rush out there with your clippers and cut it back. There must be a reason why. Do I want to improve the shape? Do I want to induce a second crop of flowers? What is it that I'm trying to do? And with this fig, I'll reiterate what I said. We want sunlight to get to the figs. We want sunlight to get to the brick wall in the back. And we wanted to reduce it from growing into the entertaining area. So there's 3 reasons. So before you start wielding these, have a plan, do a little bit of research, and find out what it is, why it is that you want to cut it back. And just doing a mass shave and making it into a gumball won't help. It'll grow rapidly. All this growth at the top can now take a lot of the nutrient that are going to come from the roots. and all of these cutbacks will become fruiting spurs for next year. That's it. Thank you very much. Please share this video with any gardeners that you think might like it, and bye for now.